Hello, Internet. Good afternoon. Uh, this is my 5 year post op recovery video. It's been quite a while, and as you can tell by my beard, time has passed. Um, Bit of a life update. I live in Chicago now. Um, I have met the woman of my dreams, and we are engaged to be married next year in August. And I have a decent job where I'm tutoring children in algebra. I want to become a physical therapist in the near future, which I'll be taking prerequisites for that pretty soon. And yeah, things are a lot different and things are great. But I'm making this video because I kind of forgot a little bit that I even made a video about my post op recovery until just recently. Somebody had made a comment and it popped up in my email that someone had. And I was like, oh, what's this even from? And I finally found that video again. 12,000 views, by the way, and a decent amount of comments. I wasn't even aware. Somebody even commented, this guy's been abducted by aliens because he's not answering any of these questions about please update us, please update, please. Here's the update. I wrote down some questions that a lot of people had. I might not be able to get to all of them, but the ones that I thought deserved a response, I wrote down. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one is from Aaron M. 2024. They ask, did you have an MRI? The answer is yes, I did. And I would say, though, that when it comes to like the information gained from that, probably not that much, because it's in a fixed position when they're taking the MRI. I'd say they got more information probably from physically seeing the snappage of the tendon and the ulnar nerve. So MRI could help you, could help not help you. I'm not an expert on that, but I did get an MRI, and they wanted to take an MRI. So the other thing to mention about that actually is something quite frustrating, actually. I mentioned this in my last video. The surgeon, mid-surgery, made the realization that it was not just my ulnar nerve that was snapping across the bone, that it was also my triceps tendon. And that, they didn't know that before. And I wish they had, because that would have given me a lot more information going in about the surgery. Regardless, they still transposed the nerve, but the result afterwards was that my triceps still snap, specifically the tendons snap across the bone. Initially, I was very upset about this. I thought that the surgery was going to fix everything. I thought that I was going to have normal people arms at the end of it all, and that's just not the case. I asked around about how do I fix the tricep thing now, and everywhere I went, the experts were saying, you don't really want to do that, actually. It would require shaving down part of the muscle, which is very invasive, and the recovery for that is its own kind of huge deal. And since learning now that it's actually the tendon anyway, you can't really shave a tendon, or at least I don't think so. So they kind of were just like, that's just your body, man. It's just something you got to live with. And so that was a hard pill to swallow, but it's fine. And I'll talk more about how it's fine in just a bit. Next question is from Ashwin Varadarajan 3187. Asks, are you able to write/type during the first week? No, I wasn't doing much writing or typing. I could barely bathe myself, actually. For context, I got my left arm done first because that's actually my dominant hand. I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. I had my right hand, of course, and that's what I used to bathe myself. Just like filled up a bathtub and kind of did everything I needed to with this hand. Wiped my ass with that hand. I did everything I needed to. And it was fine. It was annoying, but you do what you got to do when you're recovering. I got this arm done once this one had function in it again. So it was doable. It was just like a trade-off. Don't get both of them done at the same time, because then you won't even be able to wipe your own ass, and you'll have to get someone to do that for you. FYI. The next question from Skeletopedia3122 asks, can you do pull-ups post-op? So the quick answer for this is yes, I can do pull-ups post-op. And I have a physical therapist now, unrelated to the surgery. It's actually for like a back problem, a back injury that I got a while ago. But they have been having me do some bent arm work, some pull-ups, and it's been working. I want you to also know that I asked them going in, once they started assigning me certain workouts, I was like, listen, I had the surgery when I was younger, and my triceps still snap. Are you sure it's a good idea to assign me this bent arm work? And they, bless their heart, love my physical therapist, took a weight off of my chest and my mind, that they said, don't be scared. Don't worry. You are safe to do bent arm work, even with snapping triceps. It is the reason it's safe is because since it is your tendon that is snapping over, first of all, tendons are they have a lot more substance than musculature, and so it's not going to get damaged really. And the other thing is that since it's going across the cubital tunnel, or not cubital tunnel, I forget the name of that bone, always do, but it's smooth bone. And so even under load, while it's snapping across, no damage is happening, and you don't have to worry about it. So let it be known, you don't have to worry about that post-op. You still can do pull-ups, push-ups, tricep dips. It might feel a little funny, especially within the first 3 years of your surgery. It does take a while to recover, but you will eventually be able to partake in those things if you wish. The last question I have written down is from Ray'sWorld11. Does your nerve still roll over tendon post-op? And to be specific, my tricep tendon still snaps, and it always will, and that's just the way that my body was built. The nerve, however, is in its fully transposed position outside of the cubital tunnel, so it's in a bit of a vulnerable state. My orthopedist actually mentioned to me, because I told him I was moving to Chicago, he said, oh, well, just a little FYI, don't get in a knife fight, because if somebody were to slash you, across that ulnar nerve, then you would lose all feeling and function in your hand, and it'd be gone, So that made me feel really good, really comfortable. But all jokes aside, the nerve is vulnerable. And so really how that's affected my life is that I've had to be a bit more conscious of how I rest my arms, on things. If I put it right on that nerve, then it's not very comfortable. And I've had to figure out how to maneuver through that. It's not that much of a burden, especially this far out. I've figured out how to, avoid that. You might have to sleep a little differently. You might have to, drive, with your arms resting in certain places, but it's nothing crazy to get used to. And that about mentions all the questions. I feel like the last thing that I should mention is that I'm a bit frustrated with how the initial surgery and process went, looking back on it. First of all is that discovery mid-surgery, which, I don't love the idea of discoveries being made while I'm under, and them having to work around that. I wish that everything had been known before, but it is what it is. The second thing I'm a little frustrated about is the fact that I was assigned no physical therapy post operation, and I feel like I could have really benefited from that. I just kind of had to navigate through that myself and figure out what I was capable of doing as time progressed. So if you have the option, I would highly recommend doing physical therapy post-operation for this. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to mess up your very expensive surgery. I didn't, but there were definitely times where I didn't really feel comfortable or knew what I was doing. So try and get some physical therapy in if you can. If you can't, I found a really nice video with some exercises that you can do yourself to mimic physical therapy, and I'll try and link that in the description. The other thing I'll try and link is the link to my first video, in case you are new to this current video and haven't seen the first one 5 years ago. Then you can see that one as well to get some more context. Cool. Lastly, I want to say I do not regret the surgery in the slightest. It has been a process, of course, to recover, and it's gonna be, but it's absolutely worth it, and your quality of life is gonna be a lot better. You just gotta be patient. I don't know what else to say. If there are any questions or comments on this video, I promise I will not wait as long as the first time. I will respond to things in a timely manner now that I know that this is getting a little bit of attention. And yeah, I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and cheers. Have a good rest of your day.